Hello there, Steph coming in here with how to not wreck your diet on weekends. So if you are someone that diets really well in the week, eats lots of healthy food, stays nice and consistent, gets to the weekend, poof, blown out the water, you get to Monday, you're like, no, guilt, frustration, annoyance, start again. This video is for you because I'm going to show you why weekends are the problem and how you're going to overcome them to shrink, to lose body fat, to lose body weight, and feel better in your bones and in your soul. So let's get straight to it. Let's start at the foundations. So this is the running example of numbers we're going to use. So this is literally just an example, right? But maintenance calories. If you eat at maintenance calories, you're not going to lose weight, you're not going to gain weight, you're going to stay exactly where you are. If you are in a calorie deficit consistently, over time, you'll lose weight, you'll lose body fat, you'll shrink. So that is the start and the end of how weight loss works, right? So this is what we see often with people that struggle with not losing any weight because weekends are their problem. So 1500, as an example, is your calorie target. Monday to Thursday, cracked it. Easy as pie. And who doesn't love a pie? You get to Friday, you're like, oh, go on, a glass of wine, oh, go on, we'll have a takeaway. Numbers, 2,500 calories. Saturday, you're out with the girls, you're having some more drinks, you're out for dinner, you've got snacks on the table, bread, all of that stuff, whatever. 3,000 calories is what you've hit that day. Sunday, a little bit hungover. And this is just an example, right? There's loads of different reasons why your calories might be higher on the weekend. But just an example, you might be hungover, you reach for the snacks, blah, blah, blah. You've hit 3,000 calories that day. So let's break these numbers down. Across the 7 days, the average deficit we need, if your target is 1,500 calories a day, 10,500 calories for the week. The actual total from this very scenario here, 14,500. Your maintenance calories, if you're at 2,000 calories a day, 14,000. So you're actually around and about on this very schedule hitting your maintenance. Because you might look at, I was so good in the week. How have I not lost any weight? Now you can see, when you look at the numbers, it's literally just a numbers game, how it's so easy for the calories to rack up and for you to, on average, because your body doesn't just work on a day-to-day basis, it works on a bigger scale. Let's look at a week. You've got to get those averages in place to make sure that there's a deficit in place. So, with that being said, that does not mean you have to hit 1,500 calories every single day, even at the weekends. If you are someone that prefers to have some extra calories on the weekends, what you could do is, for example, take 100 calories off each day, Monday to Thursday. You've got an extra 400 calories to play with over the weekend. You can do that completely differently. You could take 200 calories off, so you could have 1,300 calories Monday to Thursday. You're at work, you're in a routine, you find that easy, whatever, you skip breakfast, you don't have to, but however you plan that out and manage that, you've then, if you save 200 calories over the 4 days, 2, 4, 6, 8, you've then got 800 extra calories to play with. You can have flexibility. It doesn't have to be a rigid 1,500 calories or whatever your calorie target is for that day, every single day. We can have some flexibility within the day and in the week. But it does still come down to the fact that you're going to have to make some sacrifices and you can't just go wild at the weekends, right? You're going to have to make a sacrifice to lose weight and stay in a consistent calorie deficit. So an example of how my clients will plan their calories. So if you're working with me on a one-to-one basis, we will look at it rather than just week to week, we'll look at it month as a whole. So we find the averages. So this client's calories target as a deficit is 1637. So we'll work that out around all the social events and anything going on to have some extra calories on the days that they want, and then we shave them off other days so that overall we're in a deficit. So I would recommend, if you're not working with me yet, then do it week to week just so you can keep the structure of and see kind of what you're doing, so you don't lose track. But the bigger picture is, summary, weight loss is a numbers game, and you can't get away from that. It's literally, that is what it is. The numbers do not lie. So that comes back to why it's so important to track your calories. So you have the data, you can analyze it, and you can see what's going on. You can then plan ahead for the higher calorie days if you want them. If you want, you can be consistent across the board, 1,500 calories a day. You can change that from week to week. Week 1, you might go consistent. Week 2, you might have, a birthday or a social event where actually you want to allocate some more calories, so you can do so. Be accountable to someone that's not your friends. Being accountable to your friends works for a while. And then it gets to a point where your friends will drop off, or you'll drop off, or something will happen. Be accountable to someone professional, because ultimately this is your body, this is your life, this is your happiness, and it is more important than you probably give it credit for right now. It's something that you're watching this video, so it's obviously something that's important to you. So have a think about how powerful accountability can be, because if you're accountable to yourself, it's easy to talk yourself out of it, right? So hopefully that makes sense. I'll give you one last look at this. If you want any more further detail or instruction or whatever, then let me know. If you're interested in one-to-one coaching and breaking all this down, then please do message me. We can jump on a phone call. I can get to know you a little bit better. I can tell you how the one-to-one coaching works. But ultimately, get tracking your calories, get planning ahead, and be amazing. All right, share this with your dieting friends and family. Hopefully that all makes sense. If you've got any questions, then let me know. All right, take care. Nice to speak to you. See you later. Bye-bye.